Buongiorno, che bella giornata. Ah, c'è sole, c'è rumore, c'è Napoli. Beh, ciao Napoli. Hey. Okay, it was a late night. It was a later morning. It is absolutely gorgeous. The sun is shining. It's a clear day. We're gonna take a walk, get some coffee, enjoy this gorgeous day. I think this afternoon we're supposed to go to 𝐕𝐤𝐧𝐝. She said she needed to go out there, which 𝐕𝐤𝐧𝐝, there's like a big outlet mall. I know that. I don't know that we're going there. And I mentioned a restaurant that I had found that maybe we could check out and try. I have to show you this gorgeous view this morning. This is what I missed. And the breeze is perfect. This is the morning view. You're gonna start to hear everyone talking to the dog. Oh, you see the you just missed that one. The bee just came up to my face. That was a big bee. How beautiful. Now you can see Vesuvio, although there's still the clouds above it, right at the peak, right at the opening. But you can see all around. Oh, 𝐒𝐤𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈. How beautiful fresh air. Freshness. All right, I think it's time for me to go put on some clothes. If you can look between the pine trees, this little whiteness there is actually, when the boats go by, they leave like a trail. So there's always boats going to and from the islands. See a boat up there, as a matter of fact. I don't know if that's one of the 𝐒𝐵𝒐𝒂𝒄 or if it's some sailboats. It's hard to tell the way I'm looking at it. But anyway, yes, the boats to Capri, Ischia, Procida, Vivara. You can even take a boat down to Positano and Sorrento if you wanted to, instead of taking a car. So yeah, let's go get ready to take a nice beautiful walk. Plus I have persimmons. Braided my hair. We're gonna go for a walk. I'm wearing my hat. This has become an iconic Venice gift, Italy. All right, we're gonna go take a walk, get some coffee, come back, have like a light lunch or something. I'm not very hungry right this minute, but I will probably do more of my persimmons. I just ate 2 of the last 2 baba. I might even pick up some more on the way back. Yummy times. All right, beautiful day ahead. So this is Marisol's courtyard, where her apartment is, her home. And it's a gated area, which a lot of places, we would want a gated area to live in Naples. It's just extra security. But I learned last night that the 𝐒𝐻𝐃𝐅 basically has put out the word that it's not a cool thing to bother the tourists. So Naples has become a lot safer because they want to make money. They want to bring money into the city. So they say, don't bother the tourists or we will have problems. Every once in a while you have a rogue person who goes against orders, as we will say. But that was what one of my friends was telling me last night, was that Naples has become a lot safer because of that. Yeah. Vesuvio in the background. And see, they recycle cartons, paper, non-recyclables, organic, like your compost. Yeah, it's so pretty. It's a pretty day. Che bella giornata. I see the roses up there. I love that. And the smells in the air is nice too. Si sente qualcosa bella. Mi piace. And the other thing that's nice about these areas is even her complex is gated. There's another gate in these different complexes, so it's like double gated and sometimes triple gated. You go inside. So, oh yeah, it's like hidden paradises. You gotta know where you're going. It's really cool. You get to see all the foliage. guarda, look at this beautiful, this is the trumpet plant. And it smells really nice in the evening. It's when it's most fragrant. They typically open in the night. But it's really nice because when you go, you have friends in different places, you see that there are all these other hidden homes and secret gardens and places that you would never know before. I like to explore, obviously. See, another gated area. Sometimes you look around the corners and you're like, ooh, what's going on down there? That's what I like to do. So, yeah, last night I didn't see as many people as I thought I might, but at the same time, I think people's lifestyles changed significantly, as has mine, because I don't go out every night to the 𝐕𝐤𝒑𝒐𝒏𝒕, drinking and following that lifestyle, of which I was part of, a huge part of. I learned a lot from living in Naples. I learned a lot of what I tolerated that was intolerable for me. I needed the contrast of living one extreme to find another extreme, to seek and find my balance. That's what I've learned over all these years. You know, I went from a very high-paced stress working as a computer information systems engineer, basically systems engineer, IT, Intel environments, toxic workspaces, government, military, contracting, all that stuff. It can age you, put a toll on your mind, your body, your spirit, can suck you dry, which it nearly did. I can be honest about that, because it's always a fight in those environments, a fight to keep your job. Hey, it's just a normal here. It's a fight to keep your mind steady. It felt like, yeah, exactly. So when you think about some of your lifestyle choices, do you choose to fight? This is Villino Angela. This is super pretty. Do you choose the life of fighting, or do you choose your peace? Because either way, you're choosing it. If you are trying to go along to get along, a lot of times there's a fight involved too, because it's an internal fight. So when you've got an internal fight, that creates an external fight. And so a lot of times, if you think you're the victim of your circumstances, you're really the victim of your choosing. Nothing happens to you. You choose to allow something to happen to you. And it always starts with you. Everything starts with you. Everything starts with you. It's like I was speaking with one of the ladies earlier with Ellie. He said, everything starts with you. It comes from within. How you treat yourself is how others show up to treat you. It's energetic magnetic attraction, you know? You attract where you're at. This is your normal Sunday traffic. Everybody going out because it's gorgeous. Yeah, so if you're in a relationship that's toxic, it's because you have to look at where have you been treating yourself? How have you been treating yourself? Do you feel you're worthy of love and affection? Or are you turning around and denying yourself that and expecting everyone else to do it on the outside, but you're not doing it to yourself, for yourself? So that's a boundary. Look how pretty this is. This is like, again, secret gardens, right? Look at the bougainvillea. And then you look down and it's a hidden paradise of a home. I don't think it goes to that house. I think it goes down to something you can't see. But that's how I have learned through my personal experience, is reevaluating that if I have an experience with somebody, why are they treating me that way? Isn't the question. It's why am I allowing it? How come I'm tolerating it? It's because obviously I've been tolerating it from within and doing it to myself. And that in itself takes humility, compassion, and, you know, a willingness to see it. So I have to be honest with myself, because if I'm not honest, how can I accept other people's honesty? People are showing up to you, trust them. How they treat you is more important, because it's mirroring from within. Everything starts within. So if someone is doing or behaving a certain way towards you, acknowledge that acknowledge your part in that, because that's humbling. And it was a huge wake-up call for me over the years, that it wasn't somebody doing it to me. I used to do that with my ex Claudio. Did you see how he was treating me? It was so embarrassing looking back how I was behaving. And I was expressing that back then I used to drink. And so you have to remember, alcohol invites the spirits, and those spirits take over. And I looked at myself and went, that did not seem like me. So I allowed these spirits to inhabit me, to take over and behave in a way that was totally outside of my norm. It was more of a, wow, I was escaping the situation and allowing some other entity to enter and create this mess that I had to clean up later. So it's one of the reasons I don't drink anymore, because the spirit within me is more important than the spirits I allow to enter me. But it's a choice. Again, we are always choosing whether we choose or not. Anyway, this or that, that's the trap. It's the middle way in recognizing your part. Acknowledge life is a gift and be here now. What enormous. No, questo? Questo è fichi. Io ho detto. No, è grande, ho detto. Che grande, enorme. Quanti ci sono? Chissà. There's some figs over there. You see the fig? Figgy, figgy. Oh, there's figs all over that branch. Yep, it's still a little bit of fig season. And we're gonna go and get a cappuccino. We're gonna go get ourselves some coffee. Ah, the wise trees. They know better than us. They've seen enough. And they have secrets. You wanna know? You have to become one with them. And again, like when you look down, how beautiful. And the little secret drives and areas you wouldn't know otherwise. Like that is an entire someone's driveway. And even over there, which you can see better than I can, look how beautiful those terraces are. Beautiful. Che bello terrazzo. Wow. Look at that. That's the vision of Naples. People think of the city. Scusa. And off in the distance, yeah, you can see more. That's Mergellina, Naples. Actually, that part is Naples. And off to the left, that is 𝐕𝐴𝒑𝒐𝒊𝒏𝒈. Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous day. Capri is over that way. As we're walking this pretty, I love this. This is so inviting. It's another gated area. Buongiorno. Questo è Ruffo Scaletta. This is Parco Ruffo, sì. This was one of the places where I used to stay with Claudio when he had his other apartment. They have a portiere, a door, basically a porter. They open. Very beautiful down there too. I mean, they're all beautiful. But this is Via Petrarca. The other side is, I think, Ruffo. I'm not sure. But look at that. The wild side. The wild side of Naples. Even the nature has its excitement. And like if you ever go to Sorrento, there's and that's one of the things I love is you can look down over the old structures, and sometimes you'll catch a glimpse of old ruins and such. Sì, anch'io. Io ce l'ho a casa mia anche. Sì. Tutti di, come si dice? Vines, tipo di vini. Non vini, ma pianti che sali l'altri. Come
rampicanti.
rampicanti?
Guarda, questa Matis era colore rosso, era di Gabriella.
Oh!
E Claudio fatto con la bomboletta, quel colore.
Ho capito. Ma cazzo. So this is actually Claudio's car, and it used to be his father's. E allora, e la casa sta là, dove c'è...
questo terrazzo,
So
esatto.
the terrace
Quella
is
l'hanno
his place.
affittata e loro stanno qua sotto, insomma.
Ah, interesting that he would be in the dark part. È più scuro giù. Che peccato, perché io ricordo, volevo... So
Ed è rimasto con questa parte di terrazzino, dove sta l'ombrellone, il tavolino.
Sì. Questa è la parte che è affittata.
Claudio.
Oh, okay.
Il
So
terrazzo più grande e quello
and
che-
dietro. So there's a higher. I don't know if you can see this little piece here. Anyway, I'm just showing you something of somebody else. But that's his place, and he's renting the higher terrace. Actually, you can kind of see it over there, where those 3 posts are. It was a sweet little space. It's a shame, and that's his son's car. So, yeah. That's a beautiful home too. I remember years ago he talked about selling it. I mean, property here in Naples is just astronomical to get something like that. Even without it being reconstructed, I remember he said he could have gotten a few million euro, which that's crazy to think about, actually. Wow. And again, you look over, look at all that untamed wilderness. Yes. Stay wild, my friends. Stay wild. Just like nature, you can't be tamed. You can try, but it still comes back, and that's within you too. So also acknowledge that. Like, have you been trying to tame your wild side? Have you been suppressing that aspect of yourself that really wants more and just playing small? That's a big theme right now. Are you in relationship with people that don't resonate or align with your values? Maybe you're not even in the right community, friends, situations. Acknowledge that, because when you are suppressing your truth, and I mean from a heart and soul space, not from an ego mindset, you have to acknowledge that, because that wild still wants to come out. And the more you push it away, the more it'll come back stronger. And this is where a lot of people struggle with mental health. It's not a mental health issue. What it really is an alignment with your calling, with your heart, your soul. You are suppressing, you are rejecting yourself. And that's when other people show up and do the same thing to you. So what I was saying earlier is acknowledge and honor and own where you're at, because that's where people are showing up to you. They're showing you when you are intolerable of yourself. They're showing you when you are rejecting yourself. So if someone's rejecting you, it's only because you've rejected yourself first, or you're denying your truth, or denying your wild side. A lot of times people just want you to stay in a certain way to make them comfortable and feel enabled in their ways. And sometimes we do that ourselves, so we have to acknowledge all of that. Are you just trying to stay in your comfort zone? Or are you allowing yourself to come out and explore? Are you willing to be wild, be free, and just see what happens? Trust in that. Surrender to the unknown, to the knowing, that the gnosis, the intuition, that there is more for you, that you're not here to be a cookie cutter example of life. There is no such thing. Not one person is the same, not one person has the same experience, nor should they hold each other to those imprisoned ideologies, those beliefs, oh, well, you've always been that way. See, notice if you do it, notice if people do it to you, and just reevaluate, course correct. You know, once you know better, you can do better. just because someone's treating you a certain way doesn't mean you can't correct it. It starts with self. You have to correct the inner stuff in order for the outer stuff to mirror that healing. So when people show up to you, they're going to show you where you're at. They're going to express through treatment, behavior, pushing the boundaries. These are some beautiful homes over there. They're going to show you how healed you are, whether or not you maintain a set standard, if you hold people accountable, if you hold yourself accountable. Because when you hold yourself accountable, that's huge. That's where you really need to be owning your life. Accountability in integrity. That looks nice. Excellent. Ooh, I'm going to look that one up. Anyway, but that's where we're at in the world is people being more accountable, taking personal responsibility and not taking, blaming others and playing the victim. Because we are only the victim of our own choosing, like I said. Let's see what this is. Lei forse stava crescendo, lui no, chissà.
Lei ora è ingrassata perché ha detto c'ho la menopausa e non fumo più. E ha detto non fumare, menopausa, mi sono ingrassata.
I like this area. So this is Casa Sant'Orsola. It's a restaurant near Napoli. It's a beautiful place to have a lunch or coffee. Ciao. Come Mira Napoli. Bella. Una bella vista. I think I ate here one time with a friend. We walked all the way from Naples all the way up here. Yeah. The trees. Noi andiamo qui?
Sì, piace?
Oh, certo. Let's see the beautiful view. People stop here just to look at the view. Caffè dolce caldo bollente, lounge bar, drink appetizer. Oh yeah, you know what we're here for. I'm here for it, baby. Questa è la vita, la bella vita, veramente. Enjoy all the little things. Sometimes you have to get out of your head and into the experience. It's not FOMO. It's living. Cheers. This is a bartender. And this is aperitivo. Mi piace come sta facendo. Ah, how beautiful is that? Bravo, bravo. Guarda. The people who love the aperitivo on a Sunday. Beautiful. Sì. Tutti in sorriso. Beautiful days in Napoli. Another thing, you've got to learn how to cross a street in Naples. You just go. The cars have to stop for you. Pedestrians always win. This is so pretty. Yeah, it's definitely a boat day. This is like the perfect day. Ooh, guarda. Come bella. Oh. I like to move and not everybody does, so this is just, for me, this is perfect. This is such a pretty day. And like I said, all these hidden gems and homes. Oh yeah, I forgot, that's a piazza down there we passed before. I originally looked at an apartment that had the elevator that goes up. It was in this big building here that you would have to go down here in park and go up. It was a little bit more than I wanted to work to get to my home, but it was a beautiful view, obviously. Yeah, I had a lot of options, and there's always options, right? So you get to choose. You know, if you're going to look for a place, you have to consider, what is it going to take every day to go in and out of it? Is it going to be 3 gates? You know, you got to go through the gate, you got to park your car, you got to go in another gate, you got to go through the house security. I mean, if you were somebody who's really concerned with all that, that might be something that appeals to you. Or, you know, again, it's also location. But you have to feel it. Again, it's always about feeling. What do you feel in your body? Your body's always going to tell you the truth. This is a beautiful home right here. I'm trying to think if that's the 𝐕𝐞𝐭𝐞𝐅 area or not, or if it's around the... Oh, actually, I think over there. Around the corner. I know it goes out to a little rock area. Some beautiful restaurants all around here. And Sunday's a day where people go... It's known, you know, you're with your family. You're with your family. Family is really important. Even if you, this is one thing I did love, even if they're pissed off at each other, it's like, hey, but we get together. Every once in a while I have, you know, my own family has issues, but to be totally honest with you, it's minimal in regards to the state of the world and the weirdness that's going on. You know, I'm very grateful, I'm very blessed to have family that's very close. And I know that not everybody has that. So if you have a family that's close and you can see past your differences and still love one another, that's huge. Just recognize and be grateful for that. Every day I'm grateful for my family, knowing that if I needed something, I've got them and they've got me. So it's a real thing. And I always think about that, like, you know, I've had a really rough year. I know everybody's had a rough past couple years, actually. Let's get real. But when I look back, it's revealed itself, you know? People have revealed themselves. I've had to really be straight up honest and notice how I allowed people to take from me, and I overgave, and it was an old healed wound that I needed to work on, you know? I had to actually acknowledge that I was allowing people to treat me a certain way. And at first I used to think it was because I was just a nurturing, loving person, but I had to really like own my shit and go, wow, it's because maybe I had a fear of abandonment. Maybe I didn't like when people were uncomfortable, so I tried to make everybody comfortable. I was the peacemaker. You know, I have a Libra rising. It's all about keeping the peace and balancing everything out. So even though I'm a Leo and I'm very fiery, you know, don't take any shit to a certain degree, I actually had to claim and own the fact that I was taking shit that I didn't want to take. So, and then the people in my life, especially since my surgery in this past years, it's really been very humbling and somewhat sad for me to have to acknowledge that there are people that have been in my life that really truly didn't appreciate me. And even though I addressed it and, you know, oh, if you need anything, I'll be here, when it really boiled down to it, it's like, but were you really? I mean, people can talk a good talk, but it's the walk that they walk. It's really about, hey, are you showing up the way you claim that you will show up? And I have had to also, there are times, I'm not perfect, we all have our moments. And I love my good friends that will call me out and say, hey, you know, I need you to witness me. I don't need your advice, or, you know, things like that. And that's actually a beautiful thing when you have friends that acknowledge, like, I don't give advice unless someone asks, because sometimes they just want to be heard and seen. We're not here to fix others. Sometimes we're here to just be support, and support can look like just listening. So this is a jacaranda tree. Isn't that beautiful? I think that's jacaranda. Purple, beautiful. Magnolia tree. Some beautiful terraces. This never gets old to me. And these are tourist buses, if you couldn't tell. Yeah. city that's in my heart. It was hard to leave. Never wanted to leave. Now I'm just, like I said, at another point in my life where I'm trying to evaluate where I really want to be. I'm here to bring experiences to myself and to share my life and inspire others. And hopefully people are inspired and want to actually come and do some yoga with me, do some healing work, rebirthing, and just have life experiences. So I'm going to enjoy my girlfriend's friend. I'm going to go walk with the puppy. So beautiful. There's a wedding. This is a wedding going on. Sotto la jacaranda, bella. Under the jacaranda tree, so beautiful. I'm going to finish up our walk. We're going to go a little bit further up and then turn around. Ancora. Stavo guardando questo qui. Che peccato quando ci sono le case che non...
Aspetta, non ti muovere.
This had a fire.
Questo palazzo abitava, non in questo, in quello a fianco,
Sì.
la mamma di Alice.
Io ricordo, yeah, sì. This house went up in flames. È stato 2 case o uno? Sembra 2. Looks like it was 2.
Questa, perché questa tra l'altro era
there's
era
also the
bruciato, non
stairs.
ricordo.
Ho dimenticato, ci
Mi
sono
sa
le
che
scale
hanno
che
rifatto questo palazzino.
Ah, okay, that house
Questa era
too.
bruciata.
Wow, veramente. I guess there was a big fire over here. E attraverso la strada.
Ma no, era
different.
una
It didn't cross the
faceva
street.
molto caldo
Ah,
e 100.000 incendi.
wow. Things like that happen, right? Okay, I have to say, this is a beautiful car. It's a Lamborghini. There's a story about the Lamborghinis and the Ferraris. I was told years ago that if you see a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, and I only know this from personal experience, most of the times it's 𝐔𝐬𝐬. Sì, vero?
Sì.
Nuovamente. And there I am again. There's my feather. I have to see it every day. It just shows up perfectly. So we're going in the grocery store before we go back. Really interesting conversations, basically talking about life changes and addictions and how we do things over and over again, no matter how they make us feel. And just sharing my personal experiences with my girlfriend who, as I trip over the bed, who was expressing to me these things that she wants to change in her life and the conflict that she experiences with that change. And as I was sharing, I said, change is like death, and you have to consider there's a grieving process and you have to honor that. And all the reasons why you don't make the change, like the fear of people rejecting you, feeling like you want to hold on to the past and you want to bring it forward with you. Because when you're changing, you have to let everything go, because you can't go back forward without letting go of the back, what's behind you. Again, I'm in that space again in my life. I think a lot of people are, and that you have to honor and grieve it, like recognize and celebrate how it served you to this point. It gave you this awareness, the contrast, okay, I like this, I don't like that, then I go in a different direction. How can you integrate those aspects from your past with those aspects that you want to carry forward and live in your life? Often it's that fear of the unknown that the mind, the ego, is trying to protect you from. It's trying to keep you small because it's there to keep you safe, not to make you happy. And that's the hardest thing, to get people to acknowledge and recognize that this will get you in trouble every time. It's here that we need to drop into. We need to learn to trust what we feel, because our experiences are always telling us. Didn't you feel that in your gut and like your throat and where did you feel it and how did it feel? You're always given an indication from your body about the circumstances and the situation that you're experiencing. Learn to trust yourself more. Don't look at what other people are doing. That's just a distraction from looking at your own stuff. People are going to show up to you the way you're showing up to yourself. And that is the best gift they can give you. They're always serving. We're always serving one another. there's no wasted time technically, because we're all navigating our way through this life. So we're gonna have some soup. She's gonna make a potato and carrot soup and some tortilla. So I'm gonna go catch some sun until then on the terrace. This beautiful puree that Marisol has prepared for us. They're both from Mexico, beautiful ladies. And she has made a tortilla with fior di latte. Che cos'è?
Una salsa picantissima.
Ah, spicy mustard. Sì? Mostardo, vero?
Only peperoncino serrano.
Ah, serrano peperoncino.
Sì, sì.
Oh, io devo provare. Esatto. Yeah, I'm very excited to try this. We're waiting for her to sit down before we eat. Buon appetito! Lunch was delicious. Everybody took naps except for me. I've been editing my video from yesterday, which is a little longer. And I'm just watching the clouds changing around Naples. And hearing the birds. And Marisol was watching something on television. It's very loud. Just grateful. Still trying to arrange my next transference to another location, because there had been a change in plans. This is Mercury retrograde still. It is in shadow. It's supposed to go direct today, but that's when you have a lot of misunderstandings and communication and transportation issues. So I'm going to show you some more of the Bay of Naples. Look at this beautiful sky. Let's see. It's amazing. You can hear the birds. And then off in the distance, is Vesuvio. There's a big ship coming out. See that big ship? Hear the birds? Birdie happy hour. Sunset. Fascinating. I don't know that noise. It's like crows. They have their own sound. Kind of like when I was in Spain in Madrid. Those blue and white birds were like their version of a crow. Look at the size of that ship. The dog's barking to say hi. I probably should have taken a trip to Sorrento. That would be nice. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. And the city sleeps as the day has turned to night. And it has been kind of a low-key day, this Sunday day. And I'm going to call it a night because it has been a low-key day. Like I said before, my sinuses are still a little bit not so great. But this is what happens when you travel and you don't get the rest you're used to, and your routine changes, your sleep schedule's all off, and food especially. So I'm enjoying every minute of it, and I'm owning all of it. So choices, we make them, and they're our responsibility to take. That's what I'm doing with my life. So it looks like I'm probably here for this is my last night, and then tomorrow I'm going somewhere else. This was a short stay, and didn't end up being quite what I was thinking it would be, but it's okay. It was just right, just what I needed for reflection, as I've shared. So, buonanotte, sogni d'oro. I love you.